Well, why don't we go ahead and get started? So hopefully we can enjoy the rest of our Saturday. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the closing session of our LLA program. My name is Steve Lewis. I'm a past president of the Rotary Club of Carson City, Nevada, a past district governor of District 5190. And really, my personal goal has been for years to make Rotary clubs bigger, better, and bolder here in our two zones in the West Coast, Big West zones. First, I want to thank all of you for really investing the biggest part of your Saturday morning in this incredible organization that we call Rotary. I also want to thank all of our facilitators this morning, many who have invested weeks in preparing for LLA under the leadership of our LLA chair, Brett Meach. I'm confident that every president-elect here in 5190 is hoping that their club will simply have a great year under their leadership. But I will tell you, to be a successful club president that's leading a vibrant Rotary club, it really takes the entire club leadership team to pull it off. And as we all know, Rotary is truly a team sport, and it takes all of you to successfully get your club really aboard with Rotary. So hopefully all of you have picked up a few new ideas this morning that you may want to try to implement in your club in the coming months that will really help us all grow Rotary by increasing our impact, expanding our reach, certainly enhancing participant engagement, which is a real key, and certainly increasing our ability to adapt, which we've already shown in this last year by adapting to a format that we now know as Zoom. In an effort to see if we can really kind of try to connect those dots this morning from all the training sessions that you've attended, I thought I would throw out a couple of really challenging questions that maybe helps you start to connect the dots as we enter this year. So let me share the screen with some upcoming information here. Can all of you see that? Okay, good deal. Because we have so many on the call this morning, I'd like to give as many of you as possible an opportunity to kind of share your thoughts. You're not going to learn anything from me. You're really going to pick up some of those most valuable tips for success in the coming year from your peers, from those other leaders in your club, those president-elects, those maybe past presidents who are still on the team to see success in the coming year. So I thought what we would do is basically throw out a few questions and see if we can't maybe challenge a few of you. So as soon as I can figure out how to advance here. So here is the first question. Give it some thought. Within the first 90 days of July 1st, what specific proactive steps will your club accomplish to help revalidate your club's role within your community? You know, so many times I think that we certainly in our community maybe takes the Rotary Club for granted. So for those of you who would like to chime in, and I'm just trying to find the participant pane here so I can see that. You know, feel free to raise your hand and let's see what kind of ideas that you may have to help revalidate your club's role within your community. Any ideas, any suggestions? Not seeing any hands yet. There's got to be some great ideas out there somewhere.
Barbara's got one. Go ahead, Barbara.
Danae. Okay, Barb.
Yeah, hey, hi, everybody. Just a quickie, Jenny Stotts was wonderful with her three-way of think, stretch, and plan. Was a terrific idea. But we're looking now at our own club in terms of get out from under the bush. For instance, we have $12,000 scholarships for people. nobody this year knew, and all of a sudden we're out in the business community saying, hey, we want to support educating people already in the workforce. Give us names of people. We're also going to do newspaper articles on the things we have done in that community, at the hospital, at the greenhouse, at the wonderful machines we just gave to all the teachers and staff in the school systems. But the point is to get out there and get known for who you are and what you've done, because I don't think many people know. So that's what we're working on, and we'll begin right flat out in the beginning of the year.
Great idea. Thank you for sharing that, Barb. And she's absolutely right. So many of our clubs, they kind of keep what they do in their community almost a secret. And, you know, our community members see something in their local town that's maybe new bus stops or something like that, but they don't have a clue as to who really did that. Chessa, you've got a comment. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yes, we're planning on selecting 3 local businesses in the Reno area to partner with for community awareness. So one of them has already been selected. The other 2 will also be selected based on their approach to community support. And we feel we support that community with our club's participation, and they support us. And we do it correctly with press releases and alerting the public to what we're doing, that we can seed a better awareness of what's going on in Reno because of our clubs. And we're also going to be spotlighting our members so we can make a better reconnection to the members in our newsletters and in our meetings, occasionally bringing our members in and sharing their skill sets.
Okay. All right. Great. Any specifics of actually how you're going to do that, how you're going to accomplish that?
Yeah, I've actually located one. It's Options Veterinary Care. And the reason is that it gloves in very nicely to our focus on the homeless issues in Reno this year. This veterinarian actually provides free veterinary care to homeless people with pets. So
Okay.
that's one of the communities, one of the businesses. And we'll locate 2 other businesses, hopefully, that are supportive of our particular focus this year, or just basically are do-gooders themselves in the community.
Okay, cool. Great. Thanks for sharing. Anyone else? Anyone else have an idea that they're thinking about that they might be able to revalidate your Rotary Club's role within your community? Any other suggestions or thoughts that you might have? Give it another.
I'm sorry, Steve, I didn't realize this meeting had already started and I'm late. But I do have something that I'm kind of excited about.
Okay, great.
In the past, we've done surveys. Almost every year we do a survey and people are kind of tired. We've tried doing.
These are surveys of club members or surveys
Yeah.
of community members?
Surveys of the club.
Okay, fine.
And so this year I decided, since I have such a small club, and since we've been so disconnected by COVID, that I was going to call each individual on the phone or go into their business or stop by their house, but personally connect with each individual. And I'm surprised to discover that several people in the club have a real passion for serving the elderly, and we have not been real strong in that area. We do 1 or 2 little things like a community supper, for example, but we don't have a strong, we're very, very strong on youth service. And the comment that people have made is, we're really strong on youth service, and I love that, and I would hate to cut back on that, but maybe we should consider cutting back a little there so that we can serve other segments of our community.
Okay.
I had no idea that that was what they were feeling, and there have been all kinds of ideas, like maybe a soup night, a monthly soup night that we provide, or bingo, or perhaps an elderly reading club where we can get together in small groups, have a book, and then every once a week we can get together in a larger group and actually have a book club discussion. And when I say in small groups, some of these folks can't really read anymore. Their eyesight is too bad, or the books are printed too small for them to be able to read. So have a Rotary reader. Get together with 2 or 3 or 4 elderly people and read the next chapter, and then they can get together in a group and discuss the book. Anyway, all kinds of ideas have just been flying at me for a segment that we don't serve very well. And I had no idea what passion there was for this.
Well, it's pretty cool that your club members, quite frankly, want to re-engage with the community.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
It's certainly a way to help revalidate your Rotary Club's role within your community.
And reach out to another section, increase our visibility.
Sure.
And knowledge of Rotary, awareness, not knowledge of Rotary, but awareness of Rotary.
Sure.
Because each one of those seniors, you know, has a connection of friends. And a book club, for example, could be really, really fun, really rewarding, and really make a difference in their life because they're feeling isolated. This is what my club members have said. They're feeling very isolated.
Sure.
And depressed and unconnected and ignored.
Great.
So
Well, thanks, Kim, for sharing. Anyone else before we go to our next question? Anyone have a comment or a thought on how to possibly revalidate your club's role within your community? Okay, well, seeing none, let's move on to question 2 and see what kind of responses we get. Looking to share your 3 top action items that'll prepare your club to help grow Rotary for the new year. Of course, we've been talking about, quite frankly, your president-elects have been hearing this for some time, how to grow Rotary, and it's not necessarily just growing Rotary with respect to membership or growing Rotary with respect to increasing foundation giving. A lot of it has to do, quite frankly, with growing Rotary in your community. And it starts with awareness. That first question that we just talked about, that helps us to grow Rotary. The more that your community knows about what we're doing, the more opportunities that we will have in somebody saying, you know what, I really do connect with something like that idea. I'd like to check out a little bit more about Rotary. So who would like to share maybe a couple of action items that maybe you're already working with, that you're already trying to implement to help your club grow Rotary for the coming year? Any ideas or thoughts along that line? I know that some of you have already implemented some ideas, but let's hear from someone.
This is Andy from Rotary Club of Amateur Upcountry. I'd like to get more involved with our chamber and our businesses now that we're open up again.
Okay.
Chamber mixes.
And Andy, any idea on how you will actually do that? What thoughts do you have right now?
Well, I know we're a chamber member. It's just a matter of, I think we just haven't been actually open for the mixers. So I think I'd like to do coming down as president, I'm going to be the vocational service chair.
Okay.
I plan to get more involved in those areas.
Okay. All right. Great.
Helping some of our small businesses in our upcountry and areas.
Well, thanks for sharing that. Richard Forrester, you've got your hand up.
Thank you. From the membership side, I think if you want to grow Rotary, you want to grow your membership, and every member of your club needs to be engaged. And that means every member of your club should be giving you 1 or 2 names of people in the community that might be good Rotarians. And a lot of people aren't comfortable approaching other people, even friends, and asking them if they might have an interest. So just ask for them to bring the names and give it to your membership committee. I gave that idea to Jackson, and I think they got 2 new members out of it. So engage your membership, make them part of your membership team. The more members you have, the more you're going to get done in the community, the more hands you have, and it'll make win and and Doug happy that the more giving that's going to come into the foundation.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing, Richard. Barb, now?
Yeah, in this next year, our new incoming president is scheduling once a quarter. We will be visiting a business for a meeting at noon with lunch provided, et cetera, et cetera. Our first one will be at the Stewart Indian Museum, which is brand new and open and stunning, by the way. October 5th, our club will be having our meeting there on Tuesday at noon, but we're going to do that every quarter. And we're looking at ways that we can get involved with WNC, Western Nevada College, in terms of those cohorts, Spanish and now Native American programs. So there's a lot coming ahead. And if you want to get involved with the Chamber of Commerce, just being a member is one thing, but you need to have that person who runs the chamber come and do a speaker opportunity, and they need to invite your club to come to a chamber meeting. There needs to be that crossover between the two. Otherwise, it's just you're sending money and that's the end of it. That's it.
Great. Thanks, Barb, for sharing. Kim, you've got your hand up. Thank you.
Yeah, I think one of my top priorities for this year is going to be rebounding from COVID. And I've been in touch with the principals. We have 2 schools in our community, and they're having a really hard time with the kids having been at loose ends and unconnected for a whole year, coming back to school and just being really just not doing well socially, not doing well academically. And so I'm working with the high school to bring in a program. Actually, the Wellhams are involved with it,
Okay.
to come into our school and do a long-term kind of injecting cultural improvements, if you will. You know, how do we get along with each other? How do we understand that we're all people and we're all in this together, and respect and support each other? So the school is really excited about that. And then the other thing I wanted to do as far as COVID recovery is have a quarterly awards of some sort. Perhaps one would be at a teacher meeting with awards for teachers who have been particularly helpful, and do the same sort of thing for, especially for our grocery workers. You know, I don't know about other areas, but our stores were so impacted. We were low on things. They couldn't get employees in there. They were outreaching all over to try to keep us supplied with meat and toilet paper and other things. And they were just champions, and recognize that, and recognize the bank. Our bankers have been spending 12, 15 hours a day trying to get all these programs through and get these loans out.
Sure.
I mean, there are people who were real heroes that you might not think about during COVID, and have some recognition, maybe make some plaques, and look for an appropriate public venue to present those. Not only does it help people know that Rotary appreciates them, but it brings attention perhaps from the community for the outstanding things that people have done in our community.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that. Certainly seems like our first responders are the first one we turn to, but you've come up with some new ideas about people that maybe we would not be thinking about in our community. So thanks for sharing. Let's move on to our third question here, our final question. What one goal do you hope to achieve within the first 90 days of the Rotary year, and what specific steps will you take to accomplish that goal? We've kind of bounced around that a little bit, but is there one specific idea or goal that you hope to achieve? I know some clubs are thinking, by gosh, we're gonna come back and hopefully have a meeting in person. I know that things are starting to relax, certainly here in Nevada, and specifically Carson City. We just got permission yesterday that we no longer have to wear our mask. That was a big deal, but really, I know that I think the number one goal is for us to all start coming together again and being able to hug one another and enjoy one another's fellowship. But who would like to share maybe a specific goal that you would like to really achieve within that first 90 days of the new Rotary Club year? Nora.
I would like to have weekly meetings in a place that will be where we meet for the whole year. We kind of are bouncing around in locations and things and not meeting every week.
Yeah, and that is so hard, not only for your current members having to guess from week to week where you're gonna meet, but what about those that are traveling through your local community that are Rotarians who would like to do a makeup meeting? Boy, it's a real guessing game for them, isn't it? When they don't know where you're meeting.
Yeah.
So anyone else with a goal that you'd like to achieve within the first 90 days of the upcoming Rotary year? Richard.
I'll tell you, Steve, this isn't just going to be for our club, but we're working with DGE, Anita, to put together a district tech committee to help those clubs with putting on dual formats and meetings. And I think that's really going to help those members that came in with the possibility of being able to Zoom in from remote locations at work or wherever they are. But going to that dual format, bringing people back together too. I think it just, it opens up a lot of possibilities, but the district tech committee, I know we're helping to get that off the ground to help members who need assistance putting those meetings together.
Okay, great. Thanks for sharing, Richard. Norma, you have your hand up.
Excuse me. We have a pretty small group, so I want to get in touch with everybody and make sure everybody has something to do, whether it's with whatever, membership or whatever, but that everybody has a job.
Sure. Great. Thank you for sharing that. Let me leave you with one of my tips for success. I've shared this for years. I think for those clubs that tend to try to implement the idea, it has served them well. And it's really simple, especially directed to our incoming presidents. But for those clubs that are a little bit larger, they're probably going to lean on their club leadership team a little bit. But here's my one suggestion. Within the first 90 to 120 days of inducting a brand new member, if that club president would pick up the phone and call that new member and just check in with them, call them by first and last name. One, they might be even shocked that the club president even knows that they joined the club some 90 days ago. But ask them how it's going. Is their experience at Rotary really meeting what they learned at that indoctrination session that you hopefully gave them as a club indoctrination to let them learn a little bit about Rotary and about our Rotary Foundation and maybe what our customs are and our traditions within our club? Because as you well know, if they have not felt connected to the club within that first 90 to 120 days, you know what they're doing. They're looking over there on that other side of the room. That's the back door. And they're waiting for you to draft your attention somewhere else so they can sneak out the back door and they'll never come back again. So connecting with those newer members some 90 to 120 days after you've had this beautiful induction ceremony and everybody has stood up and applauded them and welcomed them. But if they have not felt connected, then they're probably looking for a way to escape. And the best way to escape is out the back door. And you work so hard to bring in that new member, engage them. They didn't join your Rotary Club for an overpriced chicken lunch or a breakfast. They came for community service. They came for connections within the community. And they'll soon find out that the reason they're staying is because of fellowship, the same reason that we all stay in Rotary. So with that, I just want to thank each and every one of you for investing your time, your talent, your resources into this incredible organization that we call Rotary. I want to wish all of you the best of luck in this coming year as we continue to serve to change lives. Remember, this is Rotary. We have fun in Rotary, and let's all get aboard with Rotary. So with that, I'd like to introduce our DGE, Anita, and Anita is going to close us out.
Well, you have to go off mute in order to talk, I found out. So thanks, Steve. And in sharing the call to action, I encourage each of you to conduct a membership survey in your club. It can be 3 questions, 1 question, but reach out to your membership. Conduct a community assessment in some way in your area or in your club to find great projects. Develop an action plan if you haven't done that, and include your club leadership in that plan development. Try the each one, bring one as one of your goals, and include brand compliance by June 30th, 2022. Remember, your club's action plan is vital to achieving your goals. So, because living without a name is like sailing without a compass. And I want to thank the LLA team for their efforts in providing the training today. Thank you to the facilitators, the Zoom techs, and our LLA chair, Brett. Thank you so much. And a sincere thank you to every one of you for being here today. To all of you, good luck with the year to come. And I look forward to hearing all your successes as the year goes by. Let your dreams set sail. Bye, everybody.
I thank you.